Hi everyone, welcome back to a new post today. And today let's talk about our very close neighbor Bangladesh, who has launched one of largest infrastructure rail project called as the Padma Rail Bridge. Now the importance of this project is not the project itself, but though it even helps India's trade with Bangladesh also, but the most important point here too is that it is a part of China's Belt and Road Initiative, or what we called as the One Belt One Road Initiative of China, which is a slew of infrastructure projects and to increase its economic and military clout in the region. So China has come into an MOU not only with few South Asian neighbors, but you will be astonished to know that 151 countries of the world have an interest in the Belt and Road Initiative, and many countries, most developed countries like the first member of the G7, Italy, has also signed an MOU with China to be a part of this high level infrastructure project, or what you called as the brainchild of Xi Jinping, the Belt and Road Initiative. So Bangladesh Railway is now going to have its landmark Padma Railway Bridge, and it is one of the most eventful periods, especially in the 161-year history of the nation, with 3 new routes now opening, which will connect the 5 districts by rail for the very first time in Bangladesh. Now this landmark 6.15 kilometer long Padma Rail Bridge. Padma is a tributary of the Ganges in Bangladesh. It was inaugurated and with the aim to expand the newly rail services towards the country's southwest region. It is a 2-level rail and road bridge, and I told you that Padma is a main tributary of the Ganges in Bangladesh. Now this Padma Rail Bridge is called as the biggest railway infrastructure project under construction in Bangladesh. This new 170 kilometer long railway line bridge will be built to connect Bangladesh's capital Dhaka to Jashore, a major city in the country's southwest region. Now the state-owned rail transport agency called as the Bangladesh Railway is developing the bridge with Chinese railway engineering company, a construction company mainly based in China. China is financing 85% of the project cost, and the remaining 15% will be borne by the government of Bangladesh. The rail link will reduce the travel time between Dhaka and Jashore from 10 hours to only 2 hours time once it is operational. And the alternative route provided by the project will be a 212 kilometers shorter than the existing Dhaka-Jashore-Kulna railway line, which is existing in Bangladesh. According to Bangladesh, this railway project will add 1% more to its GDP growth in the country. So will this help India? The bridge, as I told you, will provide a shorter route between 19 southwestern districts of Bangladesh and the northern and the eastern parts of Bangladesh. And Indian officials too have been happy and have welcomed the project, saying that it will pave way for benefits to West Bengal and the northeastern states of India, which have very good trade and connectivity with Bangladesh. The connectivity with Kolkata will be much better, and India will benefit from the project. So is only China implementing projects in Bangladesh, or its very close neighbor India too? Yes, even India is implementing many infrastructure projects in Bangladesh. The 1320 megawatt coal-fired Rampal power station in Kulna, which is the Bangladesh's largest power plant, is being built by a joint venture between India's National Thermal Power Corporation and Bangladesh Power Development Board, while Japan International Development Agency is funding both the Dhaka Metro and also the third terminal of Dhaka Airport. An Indian private firm is building the construction of Bangladesh's first 2.4 gigawatt nuclear power plant, which is coming in Ropur. It is a $13 billion project which is being implemented by Russia's state-run Atomic Energy Agency, and India is giving and helping. And Bangladesh accounts for 28% of the total foreign funding assistance provided by India in the neighborhood region, including $7.8 billion under the government-to-government arrangements and also $1.8 billion in loans as well. India and Bangladesh have often described their current relationship between the two sides as Shonali Odyoy, or the Golden Chapter, but it is greater connectivity and trade between Bangladesh and India's northeastern states that will be symbolized by the project such as the Padma Rail rail project and Dhaka's decision to allow Assam and Tripura recently to use the Chittagong port, which will fuel the next chapter in India-Bangladesh trade relations. So coming to China's development of the Belt and Road Initiative. Now, the Belt and Road Initiative is known in China as the One Belt, One Road Initiative. It is a global infrastructure development strategy adopted by China in 2013 to invest in more than 150 countries and international organizations. It is considered as a centerpiece of Chinese leader Xi Jinping's foreign policy. Now, the Belt and Road Initiative is believed by some analysts to as a way to extend the Chinese economic and political influence across the world in many continents, especially in the South Asian region. China has already invested billions of dollars in several South Asian countries like Pakistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Afghanistan, and to improve the basic infrastructure with implications for Chinese trade regime, as also increasing its military influence in the region. Let us look at some of the details of the major infrastructure projects taken up by China. Now, let me tell you that China is involved with 149 countries and 30 international organizations with the Belt and Road Initiative. Infrastructure projects like port, railways, highways, power station, aviation and telecommunication are being developed under this. The flagship projects, especially which are always in news, is the Chinese-Pakistan Economic Corridor and the Botan-Vientiane Railway in Laos and the Khargos land port. Now, let us take a look at Africa. Africa is an emerging ground for China. China is investing immensely with regard to Africa, many countries. Major road infrastructure projects to the south and north of Africa, such as the Mozambique's Maputo-Katambe Bridge and also Algeria's Churchill Ring Expressway project are coming up. China is developing Algeria's El Hamdania Central Port, which is the largest and also the first ever deep water port and also the second deep water port in the whole of Africa. Due to the Belt and Road Initiative, Ethiopia and Djibouti are now being bridged through the Addis Ababa Djibouti Railway and also the Ethiopia Djibouti water pipeline infrastructure project. China and Kenya have signed a cooperation agreement with the Kenyan government to build the Mombasa-Nairobi Standard Gauge Railway connecting Mombasa to Nairobi. The railway cost is almost $3.2 billion and is Kenya's biggest infrastructure project since independence. The Abuja-Kaduna railway line is being regarded as in commercial operation since 2016 and is being constructed by the Chinese engineering construction company. It is one of the first standard gauge railway modernization projects coming up in Nigeria. In Sudan, China has helped the country to establish its oil industry and also provided agriculture assistance for the cotton industry. In Tanzania, Chinese company is building the first section of the railway line aimed at linking the country's main port with the neighbors. In Uganda, Chinese companies are building two hydroelectric projects, that is the Karuma Hydroelectric Power Station and the Isimba hydroelectric power station. In Europe, coming to Europe, Poland is the first European country to sign the MOU with China with regard to BRI in 2050. As earliest in 2015, both China, Greece see others as natural allies along with Poland in the Belt and Road Initiative. Italy is the first G7 nation to sign a non-binding MOU relating to China's BRI. Austria, Luxembourg and Switzerland have signed MOUs with China. In Central Asia, 5 important Central Asian countries of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan are now a part of the land route of the Belt and Road Initiative, and many more such projects coming up in South American countries as well, along with Europe and Asia as well, many of the Asian neighbors as well. So this is how China is improving its economic clout and political influence in the region through the major Belt and Road, and one major example is our neighbor's Padma Rail Bridge, which the Bangladesh itself is very happy about. So this is one. So apart from India being a major investor, China is using a lot of its investment especially to grab much more interference into the countries, and this is a cause of concern especially for countries like India with regard to geopolitical strategies adopted by China. This is also making many countries prone to debt servicing with regard to China. They have to repay a lot of money towards China, and this is making one of the reasons why China is also interfering in the internal issues of many of the small countries. So this is about brief about the China's Belt and Road Initiative, and how almost 150 countries are now with China with its Belt and Road Initiative, and some of the examples how China is using its influence of BRI to gain a ground not only in Africa and Europe but also with some of the most industrialized nations of the world as well. And I hope this information was really helpful to you all. If you did, please do like, share, subscribe, and do not forget to comment, and I shall see you in my next post. Until then, it's very happy learning.